The movie begins in the depths of a vast underground world known as the Hollow Earth. Kong is seen running from a pack of powerful warthogs until he reaches the edge of a cliff. He cleverly lures the creatures into a trap, causing some of them to fall to their deaths in a deep hole. When the remaining warthogs continue their attack, Kong fiercely grabs one and rips it in half. Terrified by his strength, the rest of the creatures quickly flee for their lives. After his victory, Kong tries to feast on his fallen enemy, but an unbearably painful tooth prevents him from enjoying his meal. On Earth's surface, we meet Dr. Eileen Andrews, a scientist who specializes in Kong research. She collaborates with the Monarch to monitor Titan or other massive unidentified terrestrial organisms, MUTO, and ensure world safety. One such Titan is Godzilla, who protects humanity against other monstrous threats. A long time ago, Rome was suddenly attacked by the Titan monster Skyla. Sensing the distress, Godzilla emerged from his underwater home to take on the invader. The two Titans fought fiercely, and Godzilla charged his atomic breath to destroy Skyla and put an end to the battle. After saving Italy from another beast, Godzilla has made the Colosseum his new home. Meanwhile, another well-known Titan, Kong, also protects the Earth's surface from evil Titans. The Monarch has been actively working to keep Godzilla and Kong apart. As long as they keep them out of each other's domain, humanity can be saved from chaos. At an outpost facility in Hollow Earth, researchers detect unusual energy readings from Kong's territory. They also discover a sinkhole in which he killed the warthogs. Eileen is soon alerted to the information by her colleague, Director Hampton. In the meantime, Eileen's adoptive daughter, Gia, is at school when she begins to have vivid daydreams. Lost in her thoughts, she unintentionally fills her desk with intricate drawings, leaving her teacher puzzled. It turns out Gia is the last surviving member of the Iwi tribe from Skull Island. This makes her the only person who can communicate with Kong. Eileen is soon called to the school, where Gia confesses that she feels out of place in this new world. She also tells Eileen about her strange visions connected to the Titans and speculates that Kong might be in danger. Eileen lovingly reassures Gia that they belong to each other and promises to look into the matter as soon as possible. Later that night, Eileen examines the sketches that Gia had drawn in a daze. At that moment, she realizes that these drawings look similar to the energy readings detected from Hollow Earth. Following this, Eileen travels to Miami to get help from her friend, Bernie Hayes. Bernie proves to be the unconventional thinker that Eileen needs to help decipher the mysterious signals and their connection to Gia's vision. He readily agrees to help her, on the condition that he gets to go to Hollow Earth with her. Before they can finalize their arrangement, Eileen receives alarming news that Godzilla is on the move again. It's revealed that another energy surge has occurred, one that Godzilla perceives as a threat. Acting swiftly, he leaves Rome and makes his way toward the source. Later, Kong emerges from the depths of Hollow Earth and ascends onto the surface world. He senses Gia's presence nearby and seeks her out at the outpost to get help for his dental issue. The nearby Monarch outpost swiftly springs into action for damage control. Gia informs Eileen about Kong's infected tooth, and she reaches out to her old friend Trapper for help. Trapper, a Monarch veterinarian, uses his advanced technology to extract the infected tooth and gives him a metallic replacement. Following this, Bernie pays Eileen a visit at the Monarch outpost. He reveals that the signals they've been detecting are distress calls from Hollow Earth. He also suggests that Gia's strange visions may indicate that something within the depths is calling them for help. Eileen swiftly assembles a team of experts, including herself, Bernie, Trapper, Gia, and a pilot named Michael. Together, they follow Kong as he descends through the vortex and set out into the mysterious realm of Hollow Earth. Upon their arrival in Hollow Earth, Kong retreats to his cave while Eileen's team proceeds to their base. Meanwhile, Godzilla makes his way to a nuclear power plant in France. He launches an assault on the facility and absorbs its radiation to charge himself. Monarch believes he's preparing for a looming threat and attempts to intervene by deploying jets to confront him. However, Godzilla effortlessly destroys the jets by swatting them away like mere insects. In the meantime, the crew on Hollow Earth stumbles upon a monarch outpost and finds it completely destroyed. They also find a bloody paw print on the stone walls up above, which Trapper says is meant to be a call for war. Elsewhere, Kong finds the sinkhole and comes across a subterranean realm. He senses a strange energy coming from an unseen entity and grabs his axe to prepare for a battle. He walks through until he encounters a mysterious figure in the smoke. The figure soon reveals itself to be a smaller ape named Suko. Kong tries to approach him peacefully and extends his hand. However, Suko bites him and then quickly runs off. He runs after the young ape, only to discover that he has summoned 3 other gorillas to attack him. They quickly capture Kong, and one of them almost kills him with his axe. Luckily, he breaks free from their grasp and fights them off. Kong even uses Suko as a weapon to fend off the other gorillas and kills one of them. The other ape almost falls off a cliff, but Kong grabs him and pulls him up to safety. However, the ungrateful ape tries to stab Kong again, leading him to kick him down to his death. The third ape retreats in fear, while Kong asks Suko to guide him to his tribe. Meanwhile, as Irene's team moves forward, Michael urges them to follow his direction. Suddenly, a tree-like creature swiftly devours him, causing panic as the others run for their lives. Elsewhere, Monarch traces Godzilla's movements and discovers that he's moving toward the Arctic Ocean. They soon realize that he's making his way toward another titan called Tiamat. Back on the Hollow Earth, Eilena's team stumbles upon the ruins of an ancient temple. Gia soon recognizes the scripts as ancient symbols of her tribe. As they walk further, they realize it's the temple dedicated to Mothra, the queen of the monsters in Hollow Earth. Just then, a luminous dragonfly lands on a rock nearby. When Gia touches it, it activates a sort of ancient irrigation system with water flowing from a small tunnel. Curious, they follow the water, which eventually leads them to a secret place hidden by a protective, invisible veil. Gia opens the shield with her hands, only to reveal a new, unexplored subterranean realm. Simultaneously, Suko cunningly leads Kong to a river that is home to a colossal serpent monster. Suddenly, the serpent monster emerges and attacks Kong, but he bravely fights back and strikes the creature's mouth with his axe. Infuriated, the serpent tries to drag Kong underwater, but he eventually overpowers the monster. Suko flees in fear and later stumbles upon the decapitated head of the serpent. Kong gets ready to feast on the flesh of the defeated monster and even shares some with Suko. In the meantime, Monarch traces Godzilla's movements until he reaches Tiamat. The underwater titan emerges from her sleep to battle him. Tiamat wraps herself around him, but Godzilla blasts his atomic breath to obliterate the threat. He then absorbs her radiation energy before returning underwater. Elsewhere, individuals from the Iwi tribe find Eileen and her team exploring the Hollow Earth. Upon seeing Gia, they immediately recognize her as one of their own. The tribe leader then telepathically communicates with her and brings her forward. They touch hands, which allows them to share visions and flashbacks of the Iwi tribe, as well as Gia's own personal memories. The tribe's leader also reveals that they were responsible for the distress beacon coming from Hollow Earth. The crew are guided further into the Iwi's temple, where Eileen translates their history. The scripture reads that the great apes were humanity's protectors a long time ago. However, a ruthless leader known as the Scar King led an army of the apes to try and attack the surface world in a war against Godzilla. He had forced them to retreat and trapped them within Hollow Earth to prevent them from escaping again. However, Scar King still dreams to this day to conquer the world above Hollow Earth. It's also said that a direct descendant of the Iwi tribe from the Skull Island, i.e. Gia, will be the one to reawaken Mothra. Following this, Kong follows Suko and discovers the hidden location of the other great apes. He is shocked to find that these apes are forced into hard labor under the oppressive rule of Scar King. Seeing one of Scar King's minions harassing an elderly ape enrages Kong. He steps in to confront the abuser and lands a powerful blow to knock him down and assert his dominance. Scar King then arrives to confront Kong and mocks him for his metal tooth. When the king moves to punish Suko, an elderly ape steps in to defend him. He then throws the defending ape into a pit of lava, leaving Zuko devastated. Seeing this chaos, Kong can no longer contain his anger, and the two fiercely battle. Scar King wields a whip made from another Titan's spine, adorned with a sharp crystal. Kong nearly overpowers him, but the villain reveals his secret weapon. An ice titan named Shimo intervenes, compelled by the crystal in the king's whip. Shimo then breathes ice towards Kong, who tries to deflect it with his axe. Since the blast is too powerful, his arm becomes encased in ice, causing frostbite and weakening him. Zuko hastily provides Kong with an escape route, and he retreats. Upon seeing this, Scar King commands his henchmen to find and eliminate him. However, Kong leads them into a trap and kills all but the ape he had punched earlier, who survives by using another ape as a shield against falling rocks. The crew spends more time with the Iwi tribe, and Jia enjoys being among her people once again. Eileen realizes that her daughter will be happier among her own people, and decides to return to the surface world alone. As the Iwi open the veil to their world, Zuko arrives with the injured Kong. They see his badly injured arm, and Kong signs to Jia with sadness that he has lost his home. Unbeknownst to them, another gorilla secretly trailing them also witnesses this sight. The gorilla then rushes to inform Scar King of the special door that could grant him access to the Earth's surface. In the meantime, Trapper informs Eileen that the best solution for Kong is to use the technology from his project, Operation Powerhouse. This project was aimed to augment Kong in case of another major Titan attack, but was shut down. Fortunately, Trapper manages to locate a mechanical beast glove from a destroyed Monarch outpost and attaches it to Kong's arm. Elsewhere, Scar King mounts his Ice Titan Shimo and leads the other apes toward their quest for control of the surface world. In the meantime, Zuko catches sight of the Scar King riding atop Shimo. Recognizing the looming threat, Kong urges Eileen and her team to evacuate as he prepares to take bold action. With his newfound strength, Kong prepares to head to the surface world to get Godzilla's attention and seek his help to take down the Scar King. Kong then enters the surface world through a portal in Cairo. Godzilla reawakens as he hears his roars and makes his way over for the inevitable clash. Kong tries to communicate with him to join forces, but Godzilla believes he's come to challenge him. He swiftly charges towards Kong, and the two engage in another massive battle. Kong uses his new mechanical glove to overpower Godzilla. Meanwhile, in Hollow Earth, the Iwi perform a ritual with Jia, as she's the only one who can reawaken Mothra. Besides this, Mothra also happens to be an old friend of Godzilla. Following the ritual, the mystical being reawakens and ascends to the surface to intervene in the fight. Godzilla is stunned to see his old friend and sets aside his conflict with Kong. Together, he and Kong roar in unity and brace themselves to face the looming threat. With Scar King and his forces fast approaching, the humans devise a plan to create a gravity surge in the Hollow Earth using ancient Iwi technology. They aim to trigger a reaction with the crystals to briefly seal the Earth's portal and stop the evil Titans from escaping. However, the ruthless king commands Shimo to freeze the veil, and he breaks it down to enter the surface world with ease. Godzilla and Kong readily unite to battle Shimo and Scar King together. As the gravity surge begins, the four Titans are sent into the air. Eventually, they fall through the portal to the surface world and land on a beach in Rio de Janeiro. Scar King uses Shimo's ice powers to freeze several buildings and fire an ice blast into the sky. Godzilla then charges up his atomic breath and fires at the evil king. He also manages to rip the crystal off the king's whip, severing his control over Shimo. Just then, Zuko leaps through the portal with Kong's axe and joins the battle. With a powerful swing, he shatters the crystal and frees Shimo from Scar King's control. With Scar King now left vulnerable, Kong tosses him towards Godzilla. He, in turn, whips the evil king back, and Kong catches him mid-air. To their surprise, Shimo turns on her former master and freezes him into ice. Kong then shatters the frozen Scar King into a million pieces. Ultimately, Godzilla uses his atomic breath to undo the ice blast and restore everything to normal. In the aftermath of the battle, Godzilla returns to rest at the Colosseum while Mothra repairs the veil in Hollow Earth. Eileen believes Gia wants to stay with her tribe and is ready to accept it. To her surprise, Gia signs to Eileen that she will stay with her wherever they go. Likewise, Kong returns to the Great Apes with Zuko and Shimo, who are now treated much better. Kong stands before the other apes and raises his axe to the sky as he lets out a mighty roar. The other apes acknowledge Kong as their new leader and return his gesture with respect.